just stopped on the other phone and started again. It's normal. This was another precaution learned the hard way after I did a very long recording, and there's tempo with it, so I can only understand anything. And these days we keep things more contained. So I saw it coming when I saw the. I think that I didn't want to say mid-word, mid-process, because I think it takes a couple seconds. Literally a couple. It's funny because I saw how much they interfered before. So then you have, this is, as I said, this is their war crimes. This is what it actually is. In plain and simple terms. They're just believing that whenever I'm doing something that doesn't please them quite a lot, they can just hijack my body using drugs. And okay, it's not even touching on the other things like conditioning, to gain compliance for pain, tortures to gain compliance for pain, conditionings to get that for other means. You know, several times you notice that pay attention to the use of the torture drugs at several times. Not on torture days. Those I think are premeditated, even ahead of time. They'll even be scheduled. But I'm talking about more ad hoc use of torture drugs that might be used as punishment. I never let it work this way, which I think is why these days again they tried that again and they gave up, because not once I would stop what I'm doing if I can choose consciously. Not once would I not document that to you on the spot, so long as I am capable of. Not once would I comply with any of those things, so long as I'm given the choice. And that's the point. Once again, they just take that as a suggestion that they would just drug me enough that their choice won't be given. That's their war crimes. When I say war crimes, again, they think you'll be seeing random dude coming out of a car in the wrong moment, or a guy acting weird next to me, or a child dancing in a nutshell, and know the full context of the stalking. I would say another layer of stalking, in a way. They're not actually stalking. The second one would be more like the psychological crimes, which is its own way. It's designed to affect my mind and how I function. That those are not coffins. And the third one, obviously, are the children's crimes that you see every day and they're discussed in no way. And at any point, if someone's going to say, well, that one thing in a nutshell is going to say, well, you want to do is proper for your child to be a part of this crime. Because once that becomes evident, it's about that. It's not about that one thing that you saw in the news about the crime that everybody else does in context. So as I say, and I said that from day one when they start doing those children's crimes, all you have to establish, the only thing, nothing else, it's one of these beautiful things, the only thing you have to establish is that they are part of this. With that established, for whatever means, everything else is what I prove in the video. As I said, everything is seen from a different lens once you establish that they are involved in this crime, whichever party it is. So once they decide to involve their children in it, they'll be seeing, again, once you see that their children acting weird right next to them, that's it. Don't need anything else, because so long as you establish that they're already there, all those things, all those individual things that otherwise would be seen naturally, will be seen in the lens of the crime. So more power to them. Okay, which is, say, fantastic evidence, right? Yeah, I noticed that from day one. I just didn't want to have a part in it. I didn't want to have to be commenting on this. I don't want to be involved in this, in doing that. So, things for what they are. Moving forward. As of yesterday, after that, again to the bus stop, there are indeed drugs thrown on me in the way to the bus stop. But I just want to clarify the thing in the beginning, actually. The reason I stopped, I even said that in the audio. I'm going to try to get the audio directly. I'm really sure I'm going to have to look at the video first, see the timestamp, and then look back. I'm going to try to lay the method first real quick. The tags for the audio recordings when I still believe that this phone was viable. Can you believe that? Remember those days? So last one, 20th of September. Something's got to show. Because yesterday in Paraguay they drained the battery in this phone. No, this phone was off because anyone didn't do anything in Paraguay. 20th September 2025. Before there'll be July. Before there'll be July. Before that will be July. So 25, 26, 27, then 24th September, then 8th of April, being yesterday. Important as well for the context of this, I know. And also this one. So I forgot to mention I would say the car is still $16 or something. If you make this for go back. I can't. No, I have to. But I'm gonna do it right away. I'm gonna check the video first. So exhausting to me. Look at this. This is the conditioning, by the way. When I mention conditioning, I have things like this. Trying to look for the files and just feel this discomfort. Quite sure that some of it might be drugs that they're throwing out as well. Notice how it took a few minutes to take an effect. But some of it, the trauma of it, might be conditioning. Even if this is the things that part of the conditioning for the next time. So this is what I mentioned by conditioning. Okay? So trust me, it's difficult for me, much more difficult than otherwise would be. But I got some more drugs like that. And the only one. That's the one? So 5:41 is when it started. There. So, that is the female. Looked big enough to me. By the way, it was not curling the hair. I'm testifying to that. It was not. It was just pointing the phone. The curling the hair came after you noticed. As you saw there, you noticed. You can see that even in this video. Okay? And as I said, for the rest, that's you can just. Video doesn't want to open. Look, I'm an ugly person, but an ugly person nonetheless. Now, between the phone and front of the face, which might have anything goes on top, but in the rest, I'm quite confident that. Oh, by the way, that's a quality, as I said. Now, with this quality, would you consider that you can distinguish features? And the fact that for me to document that goes to show that apart from. And they're not, I didn't notice any other hallucinogen drugs. I felt like it was mostly the, I don't know about the silence. It's because of the audio recording. Now this way. Just because honestly, the only reason I'm going to this now is because I keep saying this. You can just look it up, and then something happens. They throw some chips and end up not showing. And I think at some point they're gonna be saying that I say those things and I don't actually show. So this is my response to it. This is the same video. This video started at, this audio started at 17:40, and that is what happened in 17:41, 17:40, and 42. Ready, Max.
Anyway, that's how the drug release is actually functioning. Those stalkers are pivotal. Like this one, they actually don't release the drugs everywhere. Only in the places where I am. So, getting all this information.
Passa by. Passa by.
Again, it does continue being interrupted. That was very much virtually standing on top of it.
Just for context, I knew that the video was with audio. This is likely the time when the video started. This is around 1 minute in, so we're talking about 41 and 20 seconds.
So that is acting up for you.
That's acting up to you.
And I'm mimicking the same gesture he was doing.
Making the same gesture she was doing. So that was me identifying there was potential cut ahead, etc. And that was me starting to do the same gesture on the other side. So now, right? Again, this is what I'm saying. At this point, I was not treating that as a child. I would not give that much attention if given as a child. Instead of focusing maybe more on the other one. No, I should have filmed that for you. I'm telling that. It's like, yeah. I don't like. The point is not to this level. It was just it was particularly aggravating to me. And at this point, I don't think I even realized the flashlight yet. You're gonna notice when I do. So all this is me without realizing it.
Mostly so, as I promised before. Perfect.
And I say child, I think it is. I glance in the other way as well. Some people with weird features don't. I don't know.
The back camera is on. I should actually stop the audio recording so you get the video perfectly well. Okay.
On this one, the last one is very close by. Starts at 5:48, but I think at this point, 5:58, excuse me. No, 5:48 and then 58. But at this point, I think the video is the next thing to listen. The next video, because the next video has audio. Because I stopped this, and I started to record on the video itself to prevent them from misusing that. Again, just someone who lives in this crime for years, and you learn those things. So I want to record on the video itself. That's still getting the audio. Like the time when I was mentioning. Something there. That's 42.
So the criminal turned on, accessed my phone, turnn on the flashlight on the beams, as you're saying. All of them around.
No, so there. And that is how they made the phone rush the audio. We'll play again so you get to listen to.
So the criminal turned on, accessed my phone, turned on the flashlight on the beams, as you're saying.
You see, and done is supposed to be then done something. So they do all sorts of tamperings with all this, which I know already. Another good reason for me to do this now. So
the criminal turned on, accessed my phone, turned on the flashlight on the beams, as you're saying.
So they copy pasted the same noise twice. You know if you notice that.
All of them around. Any criminal scene. This is perfect have evidence, by the way. Any criminal in this hotel training or any other place.
Have evidence in the sense that me filming that. That's what I'm pointing out. The stalkers, just guys who glanced at that would have seen the whole thing as a whole. That's my point. They would have seen an ambush. No, they're part of the ambush, but My point is, even if they're arguing that they're just passerbys, bystanders, they would have seen the whole thing as a whole. There's no way to split that in good faith, And that's my point. I say that's half evidence, because if they share that with anyone else and they comment about that, and they don't emphasize this, that will be evidence about them. Not even this, but whatever they did. So, by the way, this is every time. Every time I mention there's evidence I know by video, it's evidence by video. And the reason enforcement have to show this one is because I noticed that several times I say that, when so many things happen, drugs flow through the air, or something else happens, and I don't show it to you. Every time I say that there's evidence by video, okay, just recorded, here's this. That's the place where the female went to. Would have seen it pointing and saying at me first. So at the end of the day, like I said, this is... See how the speed of the video keeps fluctuating? I think it's low and fast, the volume, the pitch, everything. And that's for the two. Also dressing as female rather than the child. I would emphasize the third part of the different child. Every evidence for what we show. From them killing me and stalking me and everywhere. That's exactly why we say that all of them know the truth when they tell each other. That is the truth, males. If I would stop. But keep in mind, it's not moving this quickly. I just saw that they are altering the speed of the video. So that's why it looks always like a shit. This time it's not moving around, it's stationary. It's not moving this quickly, not in real life. There's tampering. By the way, I could have done that. You see, and I'm being imbeciles now. You wouldn't be able to explain this to you. The videos rarely are this bad. It's them tampering with them to cause them to be. If you ever notice how mismatched the audio, my mouth moving is to reality, that's why. Because they're tampering with it to cause this effect, and at some point it's going to cause problems, right? Like you see they're heavily desynced. So just look. As long as you cannot edit the video, right? And notice the audio later catching up. So they fast speed the video, and then they fast up the audio so to catch up in certain moments. That's why the audio keeps speeding up and slowing down. It's my assumption. I don't know that much. That's perfect evidence, or every evidence for what we show. From them killing me and stalking me and everywhere. That's exactly why we say that all of them know the truth. When they tell each other, they will masturbate this other. As you can see, it's just a random place. There's nothing that's specific. What I'm saying is just a long wall. It's gonna be clear on this side. It's clear on the other side. Fence. See, it's playing on the other side as well. I just stopped that because I couldn't be moving forward anymore because the drugs are in front of me. It wasn't me. So that's why I thought to continue that. But yeah, for the record, I put up the lock. I want the chair. It's not much like that. So, stop at that, stop at there, and the female that is okay. I don't know. Sorry, my eyes closed. Different edition drugs here. A cleverer criminal would have realized that. I'll just point out to you that immediately, since this video is uninterrupted, I didn't pick up anything, and this is very aggravating to me. As I just noticed now, remember I mentioned I keep jumping from this? My eyes literally just closed, and I doze off. As of right now, showing this to you, seeing the thing that I just accused them of being proved, is a moment when they thought there would be a really clever idea to throw sedatives to argue that I just dozed off. Because I'm telling you a very explicit and unequivocal accusation. They threw sedatives in the air. The sign blows from this side. So it's either this place or this place. By name, by address, and not half the terms for what it is. And those sedatives are not even sedatives, they are drug sedatives. They're some type of drug with this effect, right? And this you see, and this is the point, and they would have the next one there. Damn it. Structure to battery too. And they'll have a context explanation to that relies on... Is that a vehicle in front? I saw a passing one, but I don't know if someone parked. I think there's a bag. The bag. Anyway, that's the point when they thought there'd be throwing sedatives in the air here. Okay? So, let's go back to the... Next. Is this the one?
That's perfect chef evidence. So
Okay, that's the same one.
Just on you.
By the way, the three of them are talking together, not separate. The three of them are a group, and they are actively interacting together. When I saw them and I was getting close by, as soon as they saw me getting close by, they broke up, and they actually didn't do that. But they did separate very explicitly in front of me. In front of me. By the time when you see, I think you can even see the other guy going, and then by the time when you see the video, he's already face down, type something on the phone, just happened to be face down. That's one group though. They'll talk to each other, they're laughing, they're acting very aggravatedly, like agitated. The two males. And the female again. This is when I realized more or less it was a child. Or presumably a child. Jesus Christ! By the way, yeah, this is how it interrupts the video, by the way.
That's the perfect mix between the digital crimes and normal crimes, and for anyone seeing what happened before the last incident.
Now I'm telling you a confirmation. The two criminals early, those ones. That one, it broke up seconds, less than 5 seconds. This one. This is one group. I looked for them from what I was before, and I looked for them getting closer. That's what I said they broke up at the time, because it was more or less looking, as you see, showing the fence, and I saw them separating. Okay? And then the guy pretending to do something on the phone. Either to keep his head low or something else.
You know how much I lost just staying in this place, not being able to move? So, as I said, the sheer amount of narcotics that were thrown just to pin me down, let alone all the other things. So,
perfect. See that? Yeah, it's a possession actually. It's like those movies.
How much I lost to just stay in this place, not being able to move? So, as I said, the sheer amount of narcotics.
It doesn't look that way to you, is that because I'm tampering with this video as well? Which you have to tamper with 2 videos on 2 separate phones. But it's still available to you here.
How much I lost to just stay in this place, not being able. You know how much I lost to just stay in this place, not being able to move? So, as I said, the sheer amount of narcotics that were thrown just to pin me down, let alone all the other things. So,
that one.
Narcotics to pin me down. So, as I said, the sheer amount of narcotics that were thrown just to pin me down, let alone all the other things. So, narcotics to pin me down.
One more time. That same phone that turned on the flashlight.
The sheer amount of narcotics that were thrown just to pin me down, let alone all the other things. So, narcotics to pin me down. They're stopping first because to such a...
Now inserting them here, showing kids in their face and believing that they are invisible when they can tamper with evidence, as you see here.
Lost to just stay in this place, not being able to move. So, as I said, the sheer amount of narcotics that were thrown just to pin me down, let alone all the other things. So, narcotics to pin me down. They're stopping first because to such a explicit...
I didn't know this.
Changes in we thought...
Yeah, it goes to show how much I watch those videos, better. It's wrong, it should be. This mentioned there was a child. I will comment on one that I was saying, but I honestly didn't understand, and I don't think it's meant for me to understand. I think the audio was meant to be so tampered there to just give the appearance of weird. And that's what they have, by the way. When you have actual, this as evidence of me pointing out the way that they tamper with the video, the evidence is probably something related to some weird talking or some weird... Okay. Honestly, I don't know. I'm not gonna speculate. Listen to what they have to say is what I promised you since day one. Right? After all, if you're accusing. Okay, and they stalk me 24/7. The time I go to sleep when they sedate me, the time when I wake up in the morning. Right? This is just the things that, and you see that they didn't intend it to be shown in this case. So if you're saying, well, I showed them that because they want to be seen, when I mentioned I want to be seen, I feel like I give the wrong impression. They didn't expect it to be seen this way. They didn't expect seeing the stalk as an ambush as the